Well, here's my first Mushin Way peak performance lesson that I want to share with you today. And that is, even though you can't see them, you always have great choices. Even though you can't see them, you always have great choices. Well, not too long ago, in my business life, I was faced with a really tough situation. You see, I own and operate one of the largest martial arts academies on the East Coast, in Washington, D.C., a few blocks from the White House. And among my adult students are the political rock stars of the area. I have members of Congress, members of various presidential administrations as my students, lawyers and lobbyists, business people, and a bunch of foreign diplomats. Now, not too long ago, I had a Russian diplomat come and take my adult intro program. Real nice guy, did great in the first class. He was coming back for his second class. But the next day, there was a knock on my door. And that knock was from the FBI. From the FBI Counterintelligence Division. Now, it turns out that this Russian diplomat, his job was to sit at the big Russian embassy in D.C. and intercept our U.S. signals and try to break our codes. In other words, he was a spy. A spy, yes. Can you believe that? And it turns out that he rarely left the embassy. The embassy is self-sufficient. The diplomats work there, live there. The kids go to school there. The only time this fellow would leave would be to run down the street to the Whole Foods grocery store and come back. He didn't go out and socialize. He didn't go out to dinner or out on dates. The only time he decided to leave the embassy for any amount of time was to come train at my martial arts academy. So here's the FBI agents. They're saying, Michael, you're a Marine veteran. You're a patriot. Will you help us? Can you do anything within your power to make sure he joins? Even give him a scholarship. We'll pay you on the back end to compensate for you. Make sure he joins. And then we're going to plant some of our young FBI agents to go through your introductory program with him. We're going to befriend him, and maybe we'll try and get him to go out for drinks. And then we're going to try and turn him. Try and get him to spy for us. Will you help us? I mean, if you've ever watched the TV show The Americans, this was straight out of The Americans. So here I am thinking, okay, wait a minute. I got to betray the trust of my student for these guys? I got to lie to my students, pretend I'm something I'm not, or lie to my staff, or if I need to get my staff involved, have them lie to everybody? Or what if I say no? And then what's going to happen? Am I going to be worrying that they're secretly going to infiltrate my class? Or is the IRS going to knock on my door the next day and give me 10, 15 years of audits? This was horrible. I didn't think I had a good choice, but I did. And I'd like you all to pause and think right now. I know you're facing similar situations. Think in your business or personal life. What's one hand grenade decision you're holding on to because you can't see good choices? Think about it for a minute.